Good morning, and welcome to wet Winnipeg. Yep, it's kind of rainy out there and dark. Yeah, the only thing coming up over the bridge this morning was wet people. Yeah, and umbrellas. Okay, we are pretty much the way we were when we left off yesterday. Nothing new has changed here. I did not come back to the model table last night, so we are not going to have a rollback today. Okay, let's recompose here and do this thing. Yeah, the idea is we're going to see if we can get rid of the bubbles in the PVA glue. I suppose now what's going to happen is, Murphy's Law, I'm going to mix it up and there's not going to be any bubbles, but I'll try and whip it into a froth. Yeah, it's going to be, I was thinking earlier, it's going to be a little bit time sensitive because I don't want to take up too much time after I drop the samples onto the slide to the time I start videoing, because it's going to start to dry out. Now, mind you, the humidity is 45% in here today. So, did I adjust this so that you can see it? Yeah, I guess I did. Okay, we are pretty cluttered here. I hardly had room to clunk my coffee cup. Okay, let's move on. Recompose. Maybe I'll try and do the two camera thing so that you can see what I'm doing, and then as well as seeing the close up with the macro lens. So I'm just going to do the best I can. No promises. I think this is going to work, but and it could be that that everything's going to start to boil like crazy, and it's under a vacuum, there's going to be just too much water in this stuff. I know this is water soluble. You can mix water to dilute it, but it may not have too much water in it. Let's just get at it here. I do way too much talking and very little action sometimes, and this is one of those times. So let's move on here. Well, I basically only get one shot at this because I don't want to do a retake. What I've done is I've got everything lined up so that the macro lens is focused as best I can tell right on those two little circles. Now, when I take the lid off here, I don't want to accidentally move anything because everything is, you might say, precariously in focus. So let's very carefully take our lid off here. All right. Now we're going to put down a little sample of this stuff. We'll put that on the right side. And here we go. It's about the same as what we had last time. And we're going to take a little bit of the deck tan. And we'll just use this little stick here to sample it. No, I'm not going to mix the deck tan. I'm just going to put it on there. Okay, let's throw this out. All right. Yeah, that looks fairly in focus. Now we want to get bubbles in our glue here. So I guess I could just use anything. I can always clean this up again later. Something that's going to whip this up and put bubbles in there. I suppose It would have worked a lot better if I had maybe had this needle on the end of my electric drill or something. Does that look like it's going to be forming bubbles? Now remember, Ron, you don't have all day here. Okay, now the bubbles, excuse me, the bubbles should come to the surface. That's the plan. Okay, let's let the bubbles come to the surface like they did the last time. Yeah, I see a bubble there already. Yeah, that's working. Okay, I think we're probably safe to put our lid on now. Now don't bump anything out of line. Now this has to be more or less perfectly even all the way around here. Don't bump the camera now. Don't bump the camera. I'm just sort of feeling it with my fingers. Okay, now have we got bubbles coming there on our glue? I think we do. Yeah, there's a bubble more or less in the center coming up there. Okay, now what's going to happen is when I turn the vacuum on, those bubbles are going to expand, kind of the way a weather balloon does. When it goes up into the atmosphere, it might be only 6 feet in diameter when you release it, but by the time it gets up into the several thousand feet high, it expands a lot, and then it'll eventually pop. Well, these bubbles will expand even more. Okay, we're going to turn our vacuum on now. If I can remember where the switch is. Here we go. Going to get a little bit noisy here, and hopefully the vibration is not going to throw everything out of whack. Here we go. Now I forgot to close the valve here, so there was little or no vacuum actually forming inside the tank. And yeah, I eventually realized my mistake, and I did close it, and it started forming vacuum right away. This pump is actually quite fast. Well, that didn't work, did it? Well, now we know it doesn't work. Yeah, I guess that glue just has too much water in it. It's the wrong kind of chemical makeup, I guess. I think something that is more oil-based will work better in a vacuum, but okay, this particular glue anyway does not vacuum well. Let's do something model related. Thanks for watching. Okay, a little bit of time has passed here since we messed around with the vacuum chamber. And what I've done here is I have given the planking, I guess you'd call it, a second coat of the deck tan. And being is that it is so thinned out, it dried quite quickly. Now what I want to do is see if I can just, you might say, highlight the top of the engine cover here. Might have to do 2 coats on this. This is the 77. I don't want it to go running down the sides. So I'm just going to sort of pool it on because it is also quite thinned out. Now we're looking at it fairly close, not with the macro lens or anything, so okay. Oh, it did run down the side a little bit. Well, guess I should have expected that to happen. Mind you, we have to be looking at it really close to notice that. Now, as far as the tillers go, I think I'm going to just do the tops of them in black as well. Just darken them a little bit here. Maybe I should have done them with the NATO black, just so that they stand out a little bit. Yeah, I think it's gonna make them stand out. Maybe I'll just get the top of this part too. There. Okay, let's quit poking at it, and from arm's length, I think it's going to look all right. Now, I had thought of doing the tops of the thwarts here a darker color, but maybe being is that the gunnel is not going to be darker, it might not look right, so I'm just going to leave them the way they are. Okay, I think these are about as done as they're going to get. I'm not going to do any more. Let's check the plan and see what else we have to do here. Okay, we are not done here. I'd forgotten that I was going to do a little bit of panel line accent color on the planking on the bottom. Now, I haven't used the clear coat, so this may not go too good, but let's see what happens here. Oh my, it's working its way right up the sides. Well, that's maybe not too bad. Just do it in here. It is highlighting everything, that's for sure. Oh, I got it on the gunnel. I guess I'm getting a little bit shaky or something here. It's giving it sort of a weathered look anyway, isn't it? No, I wonder should I do any up in here? It seems to me on the other boats I actually did, but I did go up in here, but maybe on these ones I won't. Although mind you, you can see here where it's starting to go already. Well, Here goes nothing. Okay, I can see now I'm gonna have to darken this whole panel. I can just well imagine those of you who are experts at this are just yelling at your computers, run! That's not how you do it. Yeah, it's getting sort of a kind of a weathered look. I think once that dries, it might not look half bad. Now let's not go nuts over this. Okay, we'll let that dry and maybe continue on right in there. Is there any other lines that are not continuing all the way around? I don't think so. I think that at least it didn't go up and over the gunnel. So a little bit right in here maybe. Oh, a little more than I wanted. Some places where it looks kind of bare. Okay, let's quit. See how that looks tomorrow once it's all dry. Yesterday when I closed off the episode, I was saying something about maybe I'll get out on my scooter. And I was actually surprised at how the weather cleared up. Now, mind you, it was kind of nasty to the west of us, but over Winnipeg it was nice all afternoon, or late afternoon anyway. And yeah, I did get out. I was out for an hour and 33 minutes altogether. And I was going steady the whole time. I have sort of a, you might say, a route that I take over and over again. The reason I go the same way over and over again is because I know where most of the potholes are. Yeah, so that little scooter does not do too well on rough pavement. So yeah, I just had a great time. Just a great time. I was noticing about an hour ago that our streets were starting to dry up, and right now they're dry. I imagine there's puddles here and there, but I was hoping this afternoon that the insurance place, that the licensing place is open, that their strike is over, because I want to see about a motorcycle learner's permit, and got little tiny flies flying around here in my cup. Okay. As long as they don't fall in, I guess it's all right. Or as long as they don't lay eggs and I ingest the eggs. Yeah. Oh well, we get those flies every year at this time. Little tiny flies. Anyway, I do have deck tan that is not diluted. So I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll do this planking with that. I'll do it off camera. It'll be so similar to what we've done already. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I just have to be very careful that I don't go up the sides where we've sprayed the 19 on the splinter rails. At least that's the plan. Okay, let's just do that. Well, maybe I'll video just a little bit of that, and then we'll push stop. What do we got here? Today is September 5th. Okay, not. Okay. There. No. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let's see how much crud there is around the edges of this one. Oh, this one's pretty good. That's all right. All right, let's recompose here and do one of these. We'll just do one of the smaller ones. Maybe I'll put it on the rotator. Yeah, I'll put it on the rotator after. Okay, now unfortunately I'm going to have to hold this so that I can see it the best. So the idea is going to be that we want to go as close to the splinter wall as we can without it going up the splinter wall. So here we go. I'm just going to sort of work my way into it. You know, my light is not quite right here. Well, I'm not doing a very good job of not going up the splinter wall. Now, fortunately, this is going to be, you know, there's going to be a couple of guns on here, and what you know, the inside here is going to be on the inside, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this is painting much better than that thinned out airbrush paint. I don't want to fill the holes. Yeah, I don't think I need to do a second coat or not. Okay, this tongue right here, it doesn't need to be painted. It's going to be going into a slot. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead now and do the other three pieces the same way. And I'll see how it looks after it dries, whether I decide I want to give it a second coat or not. Okay, all four platforms are done now. And I think I'm going to wrap her up for today. I'll keep you posted as to how it goes with the motorcycle learner's permit. As I mentioned to one of the viewers, I said this might be better described as an old man's folly. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.